Get in, nerds. We are playing Hearts of Iron 4. We are at war with the Empire of Japan. So let's get started deploying for that. We've got our main naval our naval bomber forces are still kind of working here. So let's see. Let's grab all our terrestrial only bombers, and these ones are naval. These ones are not. These ones. So all these are going to go to the airbase in New Jersey. And then I think we got one really good long-range group ready to go. These ones are still training. So we'll put these ones out in the Pacific to get started on any of the air work that we need to do to make sure that our war goes down without a hitch. Let's get our naval forces deployed here. I am going to manually move all of these units to Honolulu, and we'll deploy this fleet to all of the sea zones that we're going to need to protect right now. We have our two strike forces on the strike force task, and all of these other ones on patrol. I don't anticipate we'll need naval support quite yet. We'll see how that goes. I think we're going to have the Atlantic Fleet stay here for now. And then the raiding fleet, we'll also relocate them to Honolulu. And these ones are going to be on convoy raiding. And we'll just deploy them to the same zones for now, with the exception that they're going to move on to Eastern Micronesia. Once those fleets are deployed in those zones, then we'll risk moving the Marines to Hawaii. So let's get started with that. Ships are already en route. Icelandic-American cooperation. In a somewhat surprising move, the American government has declared Iceland to be within their sphere of interest. Upon request from the Icelandic government, has agreed to commit troops to the protection of the island. All Icelandic foreign politics will be managed by the American government from this point on, turning Iceland into a de facto American puppet state. Interesting move. Indeed. There's Manchuria joining the war against us. And what do we have here but a Japanese invasion? And we have troops deploying up to repel the invaders even as we speak. Put one in Dagupan right now just to make this happen. So the Japanese have oh my goodness. Their naval invasion failed, and now they've got two units just kind of... Hey, keep going. Now they've got two units with no ports. So that's going to go very badly for them. We have a naval invasion going in Eastern Micronesia. So let's see how things look. We do have forts. We do have very solid garrisons. I don't foresee any way that this force will be able to defeat us. So at this point, I'm feeling extremely confident in our abilities over there. Just going to drop the game speed here. We are continuing to win. There we go. Cue that battle in. And once this attack has begun, we'll get this unit. Oh, he's already defending. Well, that was probably a bad mistake, one Kihei Shidan, but you do you, I suppose. Almost there. Very good. Alright. And at this point, Both of these enemy divisions are toast, so that should be just fine. And we have a Japanese fleet. As you can see, we're winning handily against these enemy forces. I don't know what y'all are still doing in California, and you should be in Honolulu. Thought I gave that order already, but apparently not. Bunch of Chinese warlord states are asking for non-aggression pacts. I'm not at all interested in that. We sure have got a lot of submarines throwing torpedoes out at Japanese battleships over here. I don't think that's going to be great for us right now, but we'll see how that goes. We are raiding Japanese convoys in Eastern Micronesia. They have an absolutely impressive presence of ships there, but not too happy about that. Not sure where those guys were going. Lost a couple of submarines, not a big deal. They have successfully failed at their invasion of the Philippines. I'm very pleased about that. Got some nice patriotic American music playing here. Why? Do you not have your full complement of fighters? You do not. Cool. Alright, so we need... These are naval bombers. We've got one set of fighters, one of naval bombers, and one of CAS. Okay, first of all, carrier CAS, no. Not at all useful. Alright. 2 naval bombers. 2 fighters. There we go. That's what's supposed to be in those fleets. Still got some bombers training up here in the USA. These air fleets are still working, which is fine. Some small battles happening over here. So are y'all gonna, go and, like, fight or something? Oh, because these are... Yes. Because we didn't order this fleet to deploy there. Alright, so now these fleets are sallying forth to engage. Excellent. We may need to rebase those forward eventually, but we'll see if we can score a nice decisive battle from where we are. Let's go ahead and grab our Marine divisions and redeploy them to Honolulu. That's going to be very effective. And for the moment, we'll put one of these fleets on convoy escort for now. Atomic research is finished. We'll go ahead and work on amphibious drive. Ooh, actually nailed a bunch of convoys there. Very nice. There is a big battle happening here. There are submarines. So hopefully our battle fleets can get there. Where are you going? You're going to a different battle. Still a good battle for you to be engaging in, though, to be honest. Alright, here we go. So this is a big heavy battle. We lost a couple of destroyers straight away. But we got a very impressive complement of air forces. We've got more carriers and heavy ships coming in. Wow, we lost a ton of destroyers there. That's not great. It's not great at all. I think we need our battleships stationed closer to the front. So let's go ahead and put them here in Johnson Atoll. And we'll do the same for... Well, these guys are going back to repair. Interesting. I may have borked that one myself a little bit, but we'll see. Continuing to nail... Oh, God. Are you able to actually repair in this location at once? Yeah, they're... No. You need to get yourself to a proper naval base. You go to Honolulu. Sometimes the AI is not great about that kind of thing. Cool, very good.
Yes, sir.
Marine Division's still in the process of deploying here. How are things going in the Philippines? Philippines are doing good. Actually, Philippines need air forces. So let's go ahead and get 4 wings of fighters. And we'll grab... These are the naval bombers. I don't need those. But we will grab the Cass. And we'll grab 1 wing of attack bombers. And we'll deploy those to Manila for now. And that'll be just great. Oh, right, because my Cass are fighter bombers. That's right. There's the escort fighters bonus. We'll do... this would have been good to have earlier for the amphibious invasion speed, but we'll do it right now. We'll still end up using it.
Yes, sir.
And so now we should have... Yeah, we got all these in under repair. Oh boy, that's going to take some time. Cipher for Italy is fully decrypted. Wonderful. Better radar is available. Let's go ahead and get... Squeeze out some upgrades to our support battalions while we've got them. Ooh, decent battle here. Nailed ourselves a Japanese heavy cruiser. And we got a battle with some submarines going on. Some good convoy action in here. Heavy Strike Force is still repairing. Well, go back to freaking Hawaii then. If you can't properly repair, just don't walk through that naval combat, but if you're going to walk through that naval combat, at least win it. Hey, they got away. Excellent. I'm actually going to build up a larger naval base in whatever the heck island this is, Johnson Atoll, to have a forward repair base. A new general for China. Chiang Kai-shek has sent a letter to Franklin Delano Roosevelt suggesting that we send one of our generals to serve as chief of staff for the Chinese army. Doing so would earn us the personal gratitude of Chiang Kai-shek and may provide valuable experience for our general as well as help the forces of Chiang Kai-shek win the war. Which one of our generals should we send? I love these options. We can send Douglas MacArthur, Dwight Eisenhower, two household names, or we could send Vinegar Joe Stilwell, a level 1 general, or we can say nothing. Stilwell is the guy who went historically. I'm going to show you his situation. Hold on. I'm going to show you him. Stilwell's our guy all the way at the bottom. He's an infantry officer, a harsh leader, and a career officer. He's called Vinegar Joe because he had kind of a caustic personality. He's not a great general. He's who we're going to send. Because we need all those others in the field for their ability to win wars. Alright, so this repair queue is we're getting work done here. It's going to be a couple of weeks before this fleet is ready to go again. 6th Marines.
Attention.
The Marine Corps is en route. Another bad naval battle here. I'm actually going to undeploy the fleet from this zone, so the raiders will be on their own for the time being. But the enemy is doing most of their operating in this area. And if we rebase our main battle fleets to this zone, we'll be able to hopefully deal a decisive blow against the Japanese Navy. In fact, I'm tempted to bring my Atlantic force in there for the moment, just to cover the problems as we start working on taking over these zones. But I'm not going to do that quite yet, because there's a lot to do right now, and I want our main battle fleet to be able to do it. I'm going to pull our convoy expansion down to the bottom. We don't necessarily need that at the moment. And we are building up our dockyards pretty significantly, so I'm hoping that'll let us do what we want to do. Bulgarian reintegration campaign in the Balkans. The Bulgarian government has started a massive reintegration campaign in the occupied territories in the Balkans, encouraging Bulgarian settlement, changing the names of towns and places to the Bulgarian traditional forms, and reorganizing local administration along Bulgarian lines. With these measures, Tsar Boris III hopes to demonstrate the Bulgarian nature of these regions and legitimize their future annexation by Bulgaria. A bold move by the Bulgarians. Nailed some ships, that's very good. Let's see. They were able to push through in Greece, but they're not getting any farther. That's really interesting. What a wild one. Let's see how training our air forces is going. Alright, so these heavy bomber groups are actually good to go. So we will grab 2 of them, and we'll deploy them to this here island. Please tell me yes, I do have them on naval strike. Alright, and then for these other ones, we'll grab these 3 and these two wings, and we'll put them in the other base in Eastern Micronesia. And we'll set them trying to get control over the seas in this zone. We'll see if we can do some damage to these Japanese fleets that are operating in the area. And hopefully, that will let us maintain a decisive advantage in the area. Ooh, interesting. Invasion of Cebu. Unfortunately, the enemy has naval superiority, so we'll be basically defending ourselves, but that's all. They have actually sent naval forces, but not in the zone that matters. So we might the Philippines are pushing forward here, but I don't think that's the brightest idea.
Move out!
If we attack... Ooh, we're also losing. Finland declared... Hey! Here's Operation Barbarossa popping off. Alright, so the German Reich declared war on the Soviet Union. That's going to be just a massive, cataclysmic... Oh my gosh, they annexed the Soviets annexed the Baltic states, and we didn't even find out. We didn't even see it. We didn't even hear about it on the evening news. I think it's supposed to be going crazy in America for that to happen. Hey, nailed some Japanese destroyers. So far they're up on us on destroyers. I'm not too pleased about that. Doing port strikes here in Guam. Be pretty funny if I built up tons of AA in Guam. Be pretty funny if I did that, huh? The Finnish Continuation War. Following their defeat in the previous war against the Soviet government, the Finnish people have now mobilized and stand ready to reclaim the territories they lost and liberate the Finnish and Karelian people from foreign oppression as a spiritual successor to the Finnish War for Independence and Heimosodat. Yet another puppet of Adolf Hitler joins the war. We're going to be mostly paying attention to the Pacific for now. And as soon as Great Britain asks us to be in the war, we're going to be in it. But for the moment, we're just in the Pacific. So, Germany breaks Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. The non-aggression pact between Germany and the Soviet Union, a surprising development to begin with, has now, less surprisingly, fallen apart. Germany has attacked, breaking the pact, and returned to once again openly speaking of the Soviet Union as a menace that must be faced for their visions of the future to become a reality. So the Soviet leadership is less than pleased, but perhaps less shocked by the betrayal than disappointed that they didn't seize the opportunity first. Trust between giants is a fragile thing. Nice. Hopefully I can run Japan out of convoys. That will be a major victory if I'm able to do that. How is this? This repair queue is still absolutely bananas. But it is what it is. We took a real beating in that original engagement there. Lost a submarine here. Still holding all of our islands. Lost a destroyer here. This battle in the Philippines is still going very well. We'll aid our allies at this point. How will this look? 26. No, that's not going to be a victory. They got him this time. Alright, Lev Trotsky, once the top lieutenant and heir presumptive of Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, died today in a Mexico City hospital. He was attacked in his home with an ice axe by a Spanish national believed to have been in the employ of the NKVD. After a failed power struggle with Joseph Stalin and his allies for control of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, Trotsky spent the 30s in exile, living in Turkey, France, and Norway before finally settling in Mexico. He remained a constant critic of Stalin and the, quote, degenerated workers' state, unquote, of the Soviet Union. Barbaric.
Ready.
I wonder why Japan keeps dropping divisions to freaking just get completely toasted.
Ready.
See, they're going to take these islands, but it's not going to help because they're already all cut off from supply. How's the AA going? It's going. It's a process. It's a real process. Still not doing a whole lot of damage to the Japanese fleet, but we'll see how things go. See, these should have American air. Oh, but they're not because they're submarine battles. USS Alaska is still repairing in here. That one's rather critical. Interesting. We've suffered some fleet losses, which means that some of our ships are set to auto at this point. This one I'm going to scrap that production line. The others are still looking good. Put this recon fleet into that one. Hungary, should have read that, forgot. Japan declared war on the Dutch East Indies. Alright, so at this point we're going to need to become rubber independent because Japan's going to have the capacity to really take that over. Eventually. Well, we'll still have access to Brazilian and British rubber for now. Having quite as much chromium. Thought Manchuria was already in it. Free France has joined the war as our ally. Very good. Nailed 2 Japanese submarines. Why?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that fleet was there. That's why they keep getting destroyed. Well, okay. That was dumb. I should have noticed that they were in Guam. That was a mistake on my part. But it is what it is. We're still doing what we need to do. We're taking some submarine losses. Finally. Alright. So, the UK has asked us to join their faction. We're going to agree. And that means it's time to mobilize the... Still... Hold on. Just getting to the next day here. Oh, right, because we're not in the war yet. Yes. Alright. Sorry, let's try that again. Total mobilization. Women in the workforce. Or Rosie the Riveter. So this is going to negate the penalty to recruitable pop that comes with total mobilization. So now our construction capacity is way, way higher, which will be nice. How goes the war in the Philippines?
Ready. Yes, sir.
Not sure how this division got so badly damaged.
Ready, sir.
Oh, because we're getting Japanese convoy raiding. We got another naval invasion coming into
Yes, sir.
Wake Island here, but I suspect we'll be able to ward that off without too much of a problem. Still under repairs in here. How long is this repair queue? 3 months for some of these ones. This is really bad. I think once the Alaska gets repaired, we'll go ahead and cancel it for the others, and we'll pull... We'll have these two split off so that this fleet can get back into the fight. And in fact, we'll move our other battle fleet back to Honolulu to be able to deploy there. Oh, right, we're at war in Europe. Let's grab our other fleet. And we'll relocate all of these ships to Liverpool. Philippines wants into the other war, absolutely. Ditto Iceland, yes indeed. We're not having the air successes that I was hoping we would have in these zones. We are doing some naval bombing and doing some damage, but we're not dominating the skies in the way in which I would like us to be. Part of it's that these bombers don't really have... Some of them don't really have the range. That's still a process. I think probably the extra fuel tanks should have been... I should have done extra fuel tanks for the naval ones, because I think that's something that's very effective. We're maxed out on war support right now. And there's the upgraded half-track. Perfect. It's almost time for 1932. But there's more stuff we can do in the meantime. So we will. Alright. Main battle force. Let's go ahead and cancel... the repair task right now. And we'll deploy this fleet back to this zone. Most of these boats are in good shape, so we'll cancel this one too. We're going to risk these. These early heavy ships are not as important as they often, as one feels like they do. And if you're able to send them forward to do some damage, you should do it. We're going to rebase them to Johnson Atoll, where we're building up a naval base to be able to do full repairs there. Alright, and now we're deploying for battle within a reasonable time frame. So while we do this, let's pull the Marines up to Johnson Atoll. They're returning back to Johnson Atoll. Okay. I don't want you to never repair. I just don't want you to repair right now. See if I can put a strike in there. Alright, so now they're sailing out to do battle with... Where are you going? Going here. You're going back to Johnson Atoll.
Ready.
Well, that's weird, not gonna lie. With us being in the same war as the British, however, we do have naval superiority over this zone finally. So let's go ahead. Do I want to risk putting Marines in the area? Well, first, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel the naval presence in these other zones. And Micronesia is going to be the focus. So hopefully we'll be able to score a decisive battle, and then we'll launch some naval invasions. For the moment, let's just get naval invasions planning. We're going to do a series of small ones to get a hold of as many of these islands as we can.
Yes, sir.
We'll launch them all from Johnson Atoll. This is not a historical strategy, but it's not completely wrong either. We're also going to use our significant industrial might to build up a base in one of these British-held islands, and I'll show you exactly how that'll work in a second.
All in.
I think we have extra naval invasion capacity due to marine doctrine stuff, but we're about to find out. Yes, we do. Perfect. So we're going to queue in case this is not a perfect strategy here. We're going to queue in a massive air base, well, a few levels of air bases here in the Gilbert Islands. Those are going to get built pretty quickly, and we're going to be able to deploy our air forces from a centralized location within the island chain that will allow us to do everything we want to do. Get our speed back up here. We're taking some aircraft losses, but that's not necessarily a problem. Battle fleet is going to engage, and now they're in combat. Nice. Nailed a small Japanese patrol force. Wonderful. Sailing back up that way. Heavy battle fleet is going to engage Japanese patrol force. Very good. Enemy does not seem to have major armies in this zone, except for this one. Which... Are you on your way to fight that? Where are you going? Where are you going? You run back to the gap. Alright. That's alright. I want you to rebase to the middle of Micronesia. Sorry, not trying to be a pain in your proverbials here, but I feel like you need to rebase closer to the action. This might be a mistake. I might be making a huge mistake, but we'll find out. And as for our secondary major battle force, we'll do the same with them. There's the Liberty ships focus, and now we'll work on the combined bomber offensive. How are things going in Philippines? I should be watching this more closely. Tragically, I am not. Still dealing small amounts of damage to Japanese shipping. It appears we have significant naval superiority, so let's go ahead and open fire. These, oh, they're not quite ready yet. Well, that's okay. Meanwhile, our other fleet should have arrived in Europe at this time, and they sure have. We'll put all these fleets on patrol. Put this fleet on strike force. Relocate them to Newcastle, which is going to be their new base location. You're going to get concealment expert. Smokescreen specialist. Don't need any others just yet. You're going to get concealment expert as well. Heck, we'll give you both. Treat yourself. Nice. Nailed a cruiser. Very good. Fleets are in where we want them to be. We'll deploy to the Eastern North Sea. We're going to get very aggressive over here. At this point, we have the capacity to build a new tank with a better gun. So we'll go ahead and get designing that in just a second here. Okay, there we go. So now we're starting to have a shortage of shipping to the Dutch East Indies on account of Japanese raiding. The enemy does have some ships here. Oh, and we can build higher level motorized. Higher level anti-tank too. Wow, I haven't been paying very close attention to this stuff at all. We're going to need an MBT-41. That built. Medium cannon 2. And we'll upgrade the radios as well. I'll slow them down a little bit, but that's okay. And we'll get that unit built. How are we on chromium? Still thirsty for chromium. Heck, we're still thirsty for chromium. Oh, excellent. Took out 17 destroyers, 1 heavy cruiser, and 1 light cruiser. That's a very palpable hit. We lost 6 destroyers of our own against 4 enemy destroyers over here. Nailed a few more convoys. We're still very much... It's still very much a contested fight here. But our naval invasions are ready. So let's fire those off. And we'll see how they go down. Battle in the Soviet Union is going badly for the Soviet Union. Make sure to defend London. Alright. Indonesian Gap. Bombing enemy raiders a lot. Not excited there are enemy raiders here right now all of a sudden. Although I guess they've kind of always been there. Marine divisions are en route. Philippines is going fine over here. We've taken some damage, but that's all right. See if we can take these islands. We can force the battle closer to Japan. And that's what I want to do right now. We got plenty of infantry equipment. Let's train another Marine army for work in Europe later. I guess we can deploy units to Europe now. It's very silly. I wasn't even thinking about it. So, Clark. You're not needed on the Mexican border at this point. I'll put you under garrison in England. And then Patton will also garrison you in England for the time being. And then we've got another naval invasion happening in the Philippines. Wonderful. That's just fine. Marines are still en route over in the Pacific. So let's keep an eye on the situation over here for the time. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Didn't realize I'd selected everyone. We are defending here. Involved in multiple battles. That's interesting.
Let them have it. All in. Under fire.
So this should... And there's our planes getting involved. We've got our superiority here and are dealing damage. Sure wish that Filipino division had not attacked, but it is what it is.
Bring them back, sir.
There we go. Perfect. We don't want to let them get this port under any circumstances because the fall of Kiev. Kiev, the capital of the Ukrainian SSR, has been captured by the advancing German armies in the Soviet Union. The capture of one of their most important cities is a serious blow to the Soviets, but the question still remains whether Germany can keep up the momentum. Moments after the Germans had occupied the city, thousands of mines planted by the NKVD were apparently detonated in buildings along the Khreshchatyk Main Street, causing even more damage to the already ruined city. Now the invading forces look to the east, a significant development. What we're really trying to do is make sure they can't get this port, because if they get this port, it's going to be a serious problem for us. Perfect. They've stopped the attack. They've halted their attack, so... And we are in our invasions right now. Most of these battles have already won due to not having any Japanese troops in the zones. Very good. Let's take a look at the Philippines. Philippines are going just fine. Perfect. And then we'll get this division supporting. This attack is pretty much a sure thing, I think. Yep. These Japanese divisions are completely toast. And there we go. Kablam.
Ready.
Excellent. And the Philippines are once again secure. Most of our naval invasions have gone down here without a hitch. Nailed a few destroyers. That's very good. Battle happening here, but it's just with Japanese submarines. And we are just about...
Attention.
one of these divisions is going to need to take this other island. There's that island sorted out. So I'm going to scrap these naval invasion orders now, since they are largely completed.
Attention.
These divisions are finally getting where they need to go. It looks like the Japanese division that was holding this island evacuated, which is not ideal, but... Ooh, we took some convoy damage. We took some significant convoy damage here. These divisions are pretty badly beat up, which is unfortunate. There's the advanced light tank chassis, fully researched. Let's get going with 1942 stuff. Advanced computing machine will help with that a lot. Nailed some convoys, nailed some convoys, nailed some convoys, nailed some convoys. Are we just doing the same one? I think so. Get out of here. We don't need those. All right, so we've done our first round of naval invasions. We've successfully, except for this one, which is still ongoing, we've basically successfully gotten a hold of most of the Japanese bases here in the Marianas, which is very good and will allow us to continue to press forward in the future. In the war in Europe, Greece is still holding out, with really actually very little help from the UK. They got 6 divisions here, but they're mostly just defending Athens. Good for them. Great Britain finally got hold of Sardinia, which is very good for them. Got some Free French troops here, and then we're in the process of redeploying some divisions to the European front. So I think we'll probably do a big old naval invasion here at some point. Oh, well, let's bring our air forces over. Let's bring our air forces over to get work done in Europe. going to do this before I forget. We'll put all these units in London, and then we'll put the bomber units in... Let's do East Midlands. Do I have enough to get a heavy bomber unit deployed? We're getting there. Let's do it. Well, at least get them training so that we can start doing some strategic bombing garbage once we get that stuff going. All right. So yeah, it's been an exciting early war. Let's look at our...
Ready.
Get rid of one more of these naval invasion things. We just got one left. There should be a place where we can look at naval losses here. So we've scored... Let's see. Japan has sunk 11 of our submarines and 46 of our destroyers. We've sunk 24 of their destroyers and 2 of their submarines. So this is not a great ratio, but we've done a ton of convoy damage to them. 254 ships. And having played Japan, I can tell you that convoys are not nearly as replaceable for Japan as they are for a country like the United States. We are for sure going to need to scale up convoy production in this run. It's just not a priority compared to all this other stuff we're working on. But that said... But anyway, that's why we're doing this massive dockyard building push. I'll add one in Virginia. And we'll do these areas as well. Yeah. Dockyards are a big priority. In fact, we'll throw down 5 in Hawaii to get all the work we need done. How many more mills do we need to fill out our current production lines? Here's 5 here, 5 here. I know I kind of seemed like I was going to finish out, but I'm still doing stuff. We got 3 under construction, so let's put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll kind of intersperse these up in our earlier dockyard lines to make sure that we build enough to get going. Alright, so that should be effective. We're actually kind of beyond Johnson Atoll at this point. I'm going to finish out the level we're doing, but mostly leave that for later. Oh my goodness. Had a lot of battles over here. So this is that one. How do I cycle to the next one? So we did lose a bunch of destroyers and some naval bombers. We nailed some of their Wow, we're actually getting the stuffing kicked out of us a little bit over here. Because this force is repairing. Alright, so we're going to... No. Going to remove these zones from action for the moment. Obviously, we're in the midst of this battle. And then when the time comes, we'll be able to get more done. But for now, that's going to be the end of the episode. I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time. And I will see you all on the other side.